For answering this question, you need to know the basics of direction sense. If we are considering north to be located like this, an arrow pointing in this manner, to the right side of north, it will always be east. If this is north, this has to be south, and this has to be west. We call this as the legend. Okay, so using this as the reference, we are going to consider the points. Point Q is 16 meters to the south of point P. So if I consider point P is located here, point Q will be located to the south of point P 16 meters away. So we can consider that the point Q, it will be located here. The distance, it corresponds to 16 meters. Now, point R is 5 meters to the west of point Q. So if point Q is located here, west of point Q means it will be over here in this direction. Here the point R will be located. Distance, when we are considering, it corresponds to 5 meters. Okay. Now, it is given point T is 25 meters to the north of point R. So point R is located here. So point T, it should be located to the north of point R. We can see north, it is in this direction. So we can draw a straight line like this that joins this R and this T. We can see that this T, it is located to the north of point R. Distance, we are considering it to be equal to 25 meters. We know 25, it is equal to 16 plus 9. So when we are considering the length from R till this point here, we can see that this corresponds to 16 meters. The same 16 meters from P to Q that we are considering, it can be extrapolated here. So 16 meters plus from this point to the point T, we can consider the distance to be 9 meters. So like this, we can split this 25 meters distance from R to T. Okay. Now it is given that point V, it is 10 meters to the east of point T. This is the portion where point T is located. East of point T means it will be located in this direction. Distance, when we are considering, point V is 10 meters to the east of point T. 10 means it is 5 plus 5. Okay, because already we know Q and R, they are separated by 5 meters. So that 5 meters I can extrapolate it here, and then another 5 more meters I am considering. So this will be the point where V, it is located. We can see V, it is 10 meters to the east of point T. So this is where V is located. Now it is given point J is 9 meters to the south of point V. So point V is located here. South of point V means it will be in this direction towards downwards. The distance is 9 meters. But 9 meters, when we are considering, we can just extrapolate this line here, and we can see that exactly at this point, the point J will be located, and we can see that from here to this point T, it is 9 meters, right? The same distance, it can be extrapolated here from V to J, that will be 9 meters. So we can see point P, point Q, point R, then point T, then point V, and point J, they are located as indicated. So kindly copy this orientation of these points into your rough sheet. All right. Now, based on this input, kindly consider these questions. All right. So there are altogether 3 questions to be considered. Quickly answer these 3 questions. I shall give you the explanations now. All right. I hope you are now ready with the answer for these 3 questions. Let us now consider the questions one by one. The same diagram I have drawn here. Okay. Let us consider the first question. In which direction is point V with respect to point Q. We can see point Q is located here, point V it is located here. So if I'm going to draw a straight line like this connecting this Q and this V, we can see that with the reference to Q, V, it is located in the northeast direction, because when I'm considering northeast, it is in this orientation. So with reference to Q, considering Q as the reference point, with reference to Q, V is located in the northeast direction. Option A will be the answer. If W is to the west of point J it is located here. W is to the west of point J and to the north of point R. So we can see that west of point J, north of point R, this is the point where this point it is considered W is located. Okay, west of point J and north of point R. This will be the position where W is located. It is asked then what is the distance between point W and point T. We can see that W to T, this distance when we are considering it corresponds to 9 meters. So option A, 9 meters will be the answer here. And then the question, in which direction and at what distance is point P with respect to point J. We can see that point P it is located here, point J it is located here. With respect to point J, we can see that P it is located towards the west and distance it corresponds to 5 meters. So 5 meters towards west. Option D, that will be the final answer for this question. I assume this explanation is clear for you.